Well, I mean, from a pretty young age, I sort of understood that, like, if I can upregulate my dopamine receptors and keep them high for a long period of time, then I'm always going to be very sensitive to stimulants. And I've always wanted to be like that because I'm like, if I've got a PB, if I want to break a PB, either running or in the gym, or if I want to like be performing 150% above baseline, then I have a brain that is hypersensitive to stimulants. So then when I train or when I perform, I'm performing really well, not just like a little bit above. So basically what I did over the years, I'll mention maybe like 3 or 4 key supplements and nootropics that I've used that have actually had that effect. The first one is uridine monophosphate, which is it's pretty ubiquitous, man. Like anyone can go ahead and order it off Amazon after listening to this. Uridine monophosphate at 250 milligrams a day. The second ingredient that I've leveraged a lot is called bromantane. And that's like a synthetic adaptogen from Russia. It's actually used to they actually use it for the cosmonauts and also for their military as well. So it makes them just animals.
Yeah, makes sense. That's what's in their water, not fluoride. They've got this just streaming through at the bloody Russians. That's why they're crazy.
So they got that, and then also, so we've done uridine, bromantane, and what else have I also leveraged over the years? I mean, there's also a particular compound called coleus forskolin. That's also another one that's quite good at upregulating dopamine receptors.
Interesting. Now, on the topic of dopamine, I feel like it gets a terrible rap. People only think of dopamine as doom scrolling TikTok and this terrible thing that puts you in a terrible state. But you're kind of talking about leveraging dopamine a little bit more, using it and training yourself. Like, how can dopamine be a positive thing? What are those positive dopamine intakes?
Yeah, so one thing we need to realize about dopamine is that it's actually not necessarily the neurotransmitter that's released when you get a reward. It's actually the neurotransmitter that's really, really high just before you get the reward. So it's like, it's the chase.
Yep.
Guys love chasing. We love the chase.
On the grind, let's go.
Well, we love the chase. It's like hustle mentality. And if you're looking at like, so in particular, like what can a guy do to like increase his desire to win and to just kick ass in life? Well, it's optimizing dopamine, man, because if we listen to like the mainstream medicine system, which says, nah, we want to focus on serotonin, man, if you boost serotonin, you're going to reduce your motivation. You're going to reduce your testosterone. You're probably going to have IBS. You're going to have a slow metabolism. Your whole system will fall apart. Whereas if we're optimizing for dopamine, like I decided to do from a very young age, because I'm like, I want to build a company when I'm, in my 30s. Eventually, I want to have like a highly successful business. And I'm like, what's going to help me get there? It's going to be testosterone, dopamine, and obviously all the other, lifestyle strategies and things like that.
Yep. So when people then say you're draining your dopamine because you're spending too much time on social media, what is actually happening there? Yeah.
So what's happening there is there's no effort being put in. So like we're receiving the dopamine hit without any actual effort put in. So like scrolling on TikTok, it's easy, man. Like I don't know about you, but
it's very easy. The thumb gets a workout, and that's about it.
It's an easy thing, but like that's where the problem occurs, is when we're releasing dopamine without the effort. It's like that like there's the old school saying of like you want to earn it. You want to earn it. It's a nice feeling to earn rewards. It's a nice feeling to like work your ass off for 8 hours a day and make $3,000 a day. Like it's a beautiful feeling. So I think it's something that I think is it's oftentimes overlooked. And in terms of the that rewarding feeling that you get when you like you do something that you feel like, that rewarding feeling is actually governed by the opioid system. So it's actually the opioid system that's heavily released these opioid pathway that's activated during that reward.
So if you're looking for things that are going to boost that dopamine in the way that we want to boost it. It's a simple, like, it's not necessarily the fact that it's, sunlight or it's a workout. It's the fact that you had to put effort in to get something back.
Yeah,
As a very basic sort of.
Yeah, but you definitely will see an increase in dopamine from like going outside into the sun because the vitamin D helps with that. You're going to see that from listening to like highly motivating music or my favorite techno music.
Gets you going a little bit. Like, it's pretty hard not to the upbeat. You're
Oh,
just
man.
you're on.
Yeah. I think there's with the techno music aspect, I was like trying to understand like why do I love it? Like why do I just froth it so much? And like progressive house music, I just love it. Like Guy J and just all these awesome. So it's like I think the baseline actually reminds the body of when I was in the womb. The mother's heart. Have you heard that saying?
No, I haven't, but it's
like the mother's heart
sense,
beating is like a rhythmic.
Yeah, okay.
It actually reminds you of the heart of so maybe like there's like a connotation there.
Yeah.
Like baseline makes you feel like you're at home or secure.
Yep. That's interesting because it was funny when I was speaking with Ben Cunt and he was we were talking about Hans Zimmer and we were both how like that is just gets us going. Like if you're in the gym, you're like staring at that barbell and Hans Zimmer just starts to bang on, you're like, oh, it's going to be a good session.
I love that.
Like, and once again, so it's probably just that you're just raising all those things, the dopamine, whatever it may be, but also especially there because you're hunting down something that is a challenge and there will be reward at the end of that.
Head over to Jordan Checker Podcast to get the full exclusive experience.